Moldavite, what is it? Is it as powerful as people say it is? This video is all about Moldavite. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a regular. So for those of you who know a little bit about me, you will know that I am an advocate for crystals and the healing energy of gemstones and crystals. And I just happened to come across this amazing, you can't actually call it a crystal because it's called a tektite. And I came across this by accident. It's something I'd never heard of before. And I'm not one to go scrolling for hours through TikTok and things like that, which is why I don't really have a presence on TikTok or many other platforms for that matter. And I just happened to come across this video of this guy like crying his eyes out because his dog had died. And he was going on about, it's the Moldavite. I knew I shouldn't have bought it. And I thought, what on earth is this about? So then I started doing my deep dive research into exactly what this is. So for those of you who don't know anything about Moldavite, you've never heard of it. I mean, this camera, as usual, is not doing it any justice. But it is this kind of semi-translucent green. Trying to think of the texture. It feels a bit like plastic. I don't know, but it's not. So Moldavite, let me give you the basics, which of course I've had to write down. So Moldavite, it's a rare green tektite that is found only in the Czech Republic and Austria. And it was formed when a large asteroid or comet impacted the Earth about 15 million years ago. And this is the result of the molten, what is it called? It's like the molten material that was ejected into the atmosphere. And then it's cooled and solidified, and it's what we call a tektite. Now, there are other tektites as well that are, you know, basically the same thing. Not the same thing as Moldavite. It would be different forms that have come from asteroids or meteors or things like that. So, first of all, I think it's remarkable that this little thing that I'm holding in my hand is 15 million years old. The power and the energy from that in itself, I think it was that thing alone, let alone listening to all the stories and all the hype. It was that on its own that made me go, I've got to have some of this. But when I started doing my research through all the social media platforms and various other places, I started reading story after story after story of people who were genuinely convinced that this has changed their life. Now, they say that Moldavite spares no prisoners. And what Moldavite does, the energy it does, is it basically, it will change your life in a very abrupt way. And sometimes it will remove energies from your life that aren't serving any purpose, so that you have a clear path to invite the energies that do serve a purpose. So you do read stories about people whose relationships have broken down, whose pets have died suddenly because maybe they were ill, but they didn't realize. You know, all sorts of things like this, losing a job because their job wasn't serving a purpose. For some people, it's brutal. You hear stories about people, the first time they handle Moldavite, they instantly get a headache or they feel sick. You get people who can't sleep because they've been wearing Moldavite. So, and yes, I understand that a few of these stories will be fabricated. But either way, I was drawn to getting some Moldavite. Now, that in itself was a mission, because there are so many places that are selling something that they're trying to tout as genuine Moldavite, and it's, you know, it's easy enough to fake for the people that don't know what to look for or how to spot genuine Moldavite. And I did a lot of research until I found 2 places, which I'm not going to mention because I'm not here to advertise their companies. And let me tell you that this stuff is not cheap. And there's a reason it's not cheap, and that is because there's a limited amount of it in the world. And the more popular it becomes, the more expensive it becomes, of course. So yes, I did. I went out and I bought some. In fact, I went a little bit crazy. I bought this, which I keep in my crystal holder around my neck, along with my citrine. This little piece, this set me back 50, just over £50, and it is tiny. It's tiny. It's like that thin. Yeah. Not only that, but I also bought a ring, which has also got Moldavite in it. And these 2 little pendants are also Moldavite. So I am fully Moldavited up. But let me tell you about my experience with it. So I first bought this. We must be getting on for probably a couple of months ago now. And I was thinking, okay, I'm not getting the, you know, the vibration that people get when they pick it up, or a headache, or, you know, I don't feel sick. So I thought, okay, let's just give it some time. Let's see. And I didn't go into it thinking, right, this is going to be life-changing. I was just quite chill with it. And I just thought, this is amazing. You know, the fact that this has been around for such a long time, the energy it must absorb just through the ages, the changes within the universe. I felt instantly connected to it. So let me think. It must have been about 2 weeks after. That's an Etsy sale. It must have been about 2 weeks after I bought it, and I'd been wearing it. I've been wearing it around my neck, and I had a life-changing experience. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making this up. I'm not one for clickbait or anything like that. I don't expect a lot of people to be watching this video, actually, but it's definitely me worth telling this story for those of you who do follow my channel, and for those of you who maybe know what Moldavite is about and have always wondered, you know, as the title says, is it worth the hype? So I cannot go into full details of what happened to me, but what I can tell you is it was an event that changed my life. And it was an event that was catastrophic, and it made me rethink everything. I don't know how to explain it without giving too much away, but let me put it this way. It put the way I look after myself into perspective. And when people have life-changing experiences where their existence is threatened in some way, they tend to have a bit of a wake-up moment, and that's what happened to me. So that, and I can't say it was because of this, but it just seemed to be a very strange coincidence. And since then, I feel like a different person. I had a wake-up call, and I feel like a different person. And like I say, I don't know, it just seemed very coincidental that this little tiny green, innocuous looking piece of material happened to have come into my life 2 weeks previously. I happened to have been drawn to it out of nowhere for no reason. And my life, it was changing anyway before that, but the way my life was changing was a bit like, how can I put it? My life was changing for the better. Things were so much better than they ever have been, as far as my success is concerned, as far as this channel is concerned, as far as my business is concerned. But I had no, it's like I was free falling. I had no control over how I was, you know, did I have any control over my business, or was I just kind of, I'm trying to think how to put it, was I just playing every day as it came and trying to keep up with the pace, and I couldn't keep up with the pace. This came along and sorted that out for me. Actually, what I did was, which was quite interesting, because I thought I'd read a couple of excerpts of other people's stories of Moldavite so that you get an idea. So this is on Reddit. Someone's put, I got Moldavite like a few months ago. I've known about it for a while, but just decided I'd be ready for it. I have a really small piece in a necklace, but I can feel the heat and such when I hold it. When I put it near my heart chakra, I can feel the pressure there. After a few minutes of wearing it, I feel like I'm on a higher level and can definitely feel myself drop back down when I take it off. I meditate with the Moldavite and I feel amazing. I was also once able to see my friend's aura, and when I held it, it is crazy. I don't know, again, if it's just me, but I do feel like this has helped me connect on a intuitive level. It kind of, it's a strange thing. It's kind of, it gives you much a clearer vision. And again, my motivation just has gone through the roof, whereas before that was one thing I struggled with. So I mean, my biggest issue was struggling with motivation, struggling with procrastination, and then after my life-changing incident, that is just no longer a problem. So yeah, this person goes on to say, a few days later, my best friend, who I've been in love with for a while, told me he sees me as someone he wants to marry and spend his life with. I was with my boyfriend at this time, but I heavily manifested a relationship with my boyfriend, and manifestation works by getting something else from the universe, by letting go. So I manifested my best friend, and the universe sent my boyfriend, and I got over my well, this is a bit confusing, sorry guys. Yeah, let me see if I can find an easier one. I just want a quick kind of anecdote. Give me something quick. Got myself a piece of Moldavite mid-April. I have a friend who is into metaphysical things, and she swore Moldavite would be the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm Scorpio, and she said that it makes it even more so important for me to have. She has a necklace and swears it has been transformative in her life and helped her psychically as well. I must admit, I didn't do much research as I should have, and just started wearing it because I loved it instantly. I felt really drawn to it, still do actually, and wear it every day. I'm 44 years old, I'm a mother of 3 boys, and I've had an extremely turbulent life up till now. In true Scorpio fashion, I found the love of my life last year, and I've never been this happy. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Q Moldavite, my SO, who's SO? What's SO? Is 50 years old and has never had children. He tried in the past and lost marriages, relationships due to fertility issues. He resigned himself to being child-free and moved on. We met and it's been great because my kids are grown and no desire for more. You can guess where this is going. I'm pregnant. I did the math and it was within a week of obtaining my Moldavite. Wow. It just turned our whole world upside down. He's excited and scared to death. I'm just vibing because this isn't my first rodeo, but I truly thought I was done. It's been 15 years and I actually thought it was perimenopause, but took a pregnancy test to rule it out. Surprise, surprise. Wow. I mean, it's all stories like this, you know, and, you know, yeah, you could put it down to coincidence, you could put it down to placebo, but do you know what? It's the power of intention. And I don't care what you say, something that's 15 million years old has to have some kind of powerful energy about it. So for those of you guys who are interested or have always wondered, you know, kind of watched the hypey videos on TikTok and thought, yeah, whatever. You're hearing it from someone who is as genuine as she can be. And I thought it'd be nice actually just to follow this up with a couple of other crystal kind of deep dives. I might do citrine next. But yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to put this story out there. It's not a story, it's an experience. And yeah, let me know, anyone who has Moldavite or has always wondered about Moldavite. Do you have a Moldavite story? Do you have any kind of tektite story? Or, you know, tell me about your most powerful crystal. And as always, guys, I'm so grateful for your interactions, for your engagement, for your support, and I enjoy interacting with you like this, but especially more so when I'm doing a live video reading. So if anyone is interested and would like to interact with me and we can have a good old chat and I can do a reading for you, then do email me at revelationtarotgb@gmail.com. That's revelationtarotgb@gmail.com. But that's enough of my waffle. I will see you next time. Enjoy the journey.